All I know is that this is the kind of place I would want to work if leadership subjects themselves to that type of chicken torture. I think that should be the theme of Connect 2024. Are you sure that's chicken?
Yeah.
What I should say on the back of the t-shirts.
I do.
So Andrew.
Yeah, I resent the accusation though. There was hot sauce on those wings.
Yeah.
Did you see my face?
Yes, I sure
There was
did.
hot sauce on those wings.
Truth be told, did it take a little bit to recover?
Yeah, a few hours. And
Yeah.
probably the following morning.
Yeah.
No, I don't really want to go into major detail, but...
You don't buy hot sauce, you just rent it, am I right? So Andrew, to get us started, tell us what CES has learned from the e-commerce business.
I think we're learning, and I think I asked to put up a couple of slides on there on what we've learned, and as we realise there's a difference between obviously an online pure shopping and building a B2B online, and how that's really going to fit in with our branch network. So we got this, we got a couple of slides up there. One shows growth, which is fine. We know there's a shift of people to online. As I said earlier in the presentation, we just want. If our customers are buying online, we want to take the business. And I think really that graph there is what I really want to get at. If you take one thing from that presentation on this is, yeah, obviously our web team are doing things to attract people to the site. There's SEO and all this spooky stuff that people do online to attract people onto that. But really, from a B2B, it's the people in the audience, it's the staff that promote and bring the most customers to the website. So I would just want to be connected to the site because it's your site, and that's one of the reasons, as I spoke earlier, where we're going to be giving the orders to the branches, because we really need that connection to our network.
As you know, we're trying to get to as many of these questions submitted by the audience as possible. Here's the first one: will you ever show branch stock online? Rich.
Yeah, that's a great question, and the answer to that is absolutely yes. We are in the process of putting together in our regen project just that capability alone. So we're very excited to be ready here probably the next few weeks to be able to actually push that and demonstrate that. But we'll talk a lot about that when you come to our booths because we're highlighting that significantly. So branch stock has always been a problem for all of you. You voiced it in the last show. You voiced it at the last couple of years. We know that we need to show it, and we now have the capability and the tools to do it. And I'm excited to talk to all of you when you come to the booth to kind of show you how we're going to be doing that for you. So,
thanks, Rich. This question from Jeremy from Richmond. Pardon me. Is there any plan to add overnight wire cutting to reduce lead times to be more competitive against certain markets that have come to rely on that expedited service as a standard?
Yeah, I think that's another great question. And I'm going to answer it maybe a little long-winded, so I apologize. But, we've looked at lots of ways in which we can shorten our lead times. And what we typically find in the fulfillment centers is as we build capacity, you graciously consume that capacity, which is absolutely fantastic. But what that does is as that consumption elevates, it inevitably forces us to make additional working capital investments to keep up with it. Well, to answer that question, one of the things that we've done recently is we've been working with our manufacturers to come up with a fully automated wire cutting machine. That wire cutting machine is designed for straight cuts, not parallels. We'll still be able to handle those the way that we do traditionally. But that machine alone is going to allow us to double the capacity that we have for straight cuts in a single facility. So the answer to that question is when that gets installed, which should be coming fourth quarter, we should be launching fourth quarter of fiscal with that because it's going to be installed third quarter of fiscal. Once we have that up and running, we're absolutely going to be able to do exactly what you just asked.
Rich, this question from Brandon in Texas. How fast can I get an order turned around from the fulfillment centers?
Another great question, right? So, orders typically are going to go in and go out the same day. That is our approach, that is our design, that is our model. Now, are we perfect? Absolutely not. Do we strive to be perfect? Absolutely we do. So, when you look at what the fulfillment center managers are chartered with every day, as orders come into their queues, it doesn't matter if it's going into the pick queue, if it's going into the one-line queue, if it's going into the wire queue, or if it's a joint facility and it goes into the TAMCO queue. We are going to work to clear those queues out every single day before that staff leaves. Now there are times, right, where the backlog does kick in a little bit when it comes to conductor. You all have seen that, you've all experienced that. So when we get past a one-day ship point, or not a one-day ship point, when we get past a one-day turnaround, what we're doing at that point is working to leverage our staff members, installing overtime where we need to, and do all the right things to help pull that back to that one-day turnaround time. So hopefully that answers that question.
Yeah, I would say from my point, we know we've got that conductor wire, and that's the biggest issue right now, is getting that capacity improved. But day-to-day packages, I mean, it's well monitored. Most go out same day. I've not seen many issues in that. And Rich does a good job with his teams of every time, always evaluating the processes and, making sure we improve every single time. They are really focused on that.
Will customer level pricing show when a user logs in?
Yeah, another good question. So the great part about our new direction, right now the answer to that is yes, but I'm going to take that a step further. When you look at our new direction, as we get to the point where we want to start to push those web orders for business-to-business transactions to you, at that point, the customer's logging in, they're absolutely 100% seeing the green pricing and the history pricing and all the pricing that the branch has established for them in their account area on the website. So everything's going to transfer right to how you've set it up for them. So number one, that's a good thing. But number two, what's also fantastic about that is now you have that order. You can fill what you can out of stock, and what you don't have out of stock, you can turn right back around and hit that web fulfill button and have it the next day. So it's going to be a great way for you to serve your customers in a pretty expeditious manner. It's a nice add-on from a tool perspective that we're going to be able to kick off and provide to you.
From Joshua in Columbus, are you doing anything about solar-ready products?
Do you want me to take this, Rich? I'll take. I mean, the truth is now, obviously, other than the sort of the AC side, but if we're talking about panels and inverters right now, that's currently a no. We wouldn't have the capacity within our warehouse network to even store enough product. The other thing we found that the fulfillment centers aren't really sort of the really best utilized for that, because the truth is, if you've not really the solar product, it's such a difficult thing to ship that if you're not doing last mile within probably 100 miles of a location, the truth is you can't do it well. I don't even agree with that. We learned that the hard way, probably, Rich, right? A little bit damages, issues, delays. Our LTL trucks won't go into residential, and I think those solar customers. I mean, we obviously, we are continuing to talk of how we can bring that service to you, and obviously we're talking to the Soligent people on that and things like that.
Can we add something on CES Online that shows material isn't stocked at the local branch?
I think that's a great question, and right now when you look at the toggles are set up to show branch stock as well as fulfillment center stock. But I think what you're saying there makes great sense, and it's definitely something for us to take a look at. So I appreciate that question, and we can definitely dive into that.
Here's a dandy from Aaron in North Vancouver. Will we have add-ons with a purchase? Example, purchase wire, frequently bought with this connector, this strap, etc.
Probably a good time to talk about Regen, Rich, and how the web team's working on a lot of those added features, I think, probably.
Yeah, so those are all great questions. And about November timeframe, we kicked off a program, and we're calling that program Regen. Regen's primary focus was to take business-to-business transactions and move those into the branch. We started day one with a gated website. We had tremendous success working with customers to build that gated website. The next phase in that evolution was ungating it and taking it to a business-to-consumer environment. Now we're at the point where we really need to drive the business-to-business elements of it, where it becomes a true branch point-of-sale tool. So the reality is all the things that you're talking about really lead nicely into that project, because we have to do all of those things in order to kick that project off successfully.
Yeah. I would add that the web team are working like those added features to that site. They're really working hard. So when we do launch the Regen, the website will have a lot of tools on there and a lot of features for customers to easily order things.
And I would ask all of you, stop by the booth when you have a chance, because we do have a complete dedicated area inside the booth that highlights a lot of these new enhancements that the IT department has done so well in helping us to develop.
And finally, we're just about out of time. Can you discuss any new features in development to enhance the customer experience?
Yeah, I'm going to go back to we're in that evolutionary stage, and it's stage 3, and stage 3 is really branch engagement and making it a branch tool. To me, that is where we're at today. That is those are the things that are going to help us get to where we need to go. But I will point out things like click and collect or will call or pickup, however we want to call it. You're going to have pickup capability with built into the website now that you didn't have before. You're going to have the ability to register as many customers as you want because they're going to be your customers, your orders. At the same time, you're going to be able to show all of your inventory. The enhancements we're making in addition to that, again, are also very exciting. Again, we're going to show that in our booth. But I think one of the most exciting things that I like about Regen and where we're headed is, number one, showing your branch stock. But number two, if a customer wants to then see any branches within 20 miles of your branch, they can absolutely hit a button and pull up a modal, and they're going to be able to toggle right through that. And it's a fantastic enhancement. I think you're going to love to see that, and we're going to be able to demonstrate that for you when you stop by.
Cool. Thank you, Rich. Thank you, Andrew. Exhale. That's time.